In a previous recording, we showed you Morphic, a utility that makes it easier to use computers and to use the different accessibility features on them. Anyone who is using Morphic, however, also has the ability to use a new capability that was just released called Assistive Technology on Demand. Now, imagine someone comes to a library or to a school who needs an assistive technology, and they need to sit down in a classroom or in a lab or a training room in the stacks or someplace in the library or school. And they sit down to the computer, but their assistive technology isn't on that computer. Even places that have AT often only have one or two AT on a computer in some room or in some corner of a room. With AT on Demand, it's possible for an individual to sit down to any computer in the library, any computer in the school, and have their assistive technology show up on that computer and then be set up exactly the way they need to have it set up. And when they're done, it disappears. So, for example, if I come in and I sit down and I log into this computer, it will scan and it goes to the cloud where I've stored the different AT that I want to use and the settings that I want to use. What I did basically is I took my computer, or I had my clinician set up a computer for me exactly the way I needed to have it set up. And then we captured and saved those up to the cloud. Now this goes into a secure cloud vault that only I have access to. And it only stores the email address so that I can get back to it. And it stores the information. As a matter of fact, if I wanted to, I could have an email address that's bozodeclown@gmail.com, and I could use that to log in. It just has to be a valid email address. Once I sign in, it goes to that vault. It finds out the AT that I want to use. In this case, I use Fusion, JAWS, Read and Write, and Zoom. Now, JAWS and Zoom text together is what Fusion is, and that's why it shows up with all three of them. For this demonstration, I'm going to just install Read and Write. And then I choose what I want to have installed, and I click Install. Now, what you'll see is it'll go and it'll fetch a copy. Now, it fetches this copy from a server at the school or the library. So the IT department at the school or library has complete control over what gets installed. It goes to the server at the school or library to grab the install pack, which has already been safety screened by the school or library. It then brings it to the computer and installs it. And then it goes and gets my settings and sets it up exactly like my computer. So in just that amount of time, I now have this computer. You'll see Read and Write has been installed on the computer. It's setting up all the settings to make sure they're just the way I need to have it set up for me. And then bingo, it's done. And so now I have the computer, I have my AT on the computer, and when I am ready to leave, I simply sign out and it will remove and return the computer to exactly the way it was before I sat down. So for the first time, people who need AT would be able to use it on any computer they sit down to that has Morphic installed on it. And again, Morphic and ATOD are both free. If you have to purchase AT, that's fine. You obviously have to buy the AT you're going to use, or the library has to have a copy. But we can even have situations now where an individual has no computer at home, their family has no computer at home, and the library doesn't have their AT. But if they're given a license from the school or the state or somebody else to the AT, this individual would now be able to use their AT on any computer at school, at the library, in their community. So a new level of digital equity where the AT can travel with the person and be used in all of the same places and allow them to use all of the computers in their community the same way their peers who don't have AT can use it. To learn more or to ask questions, there is a handy form at the bottom of every page that allows you to send quick questions. Or for longer responses, click Contact Us, and you can get direct emails as well as a form that lets you type up to 2,000 characters. You will get a quick response either way.